Bagels and Joe.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Your Nebraska Lottery announces the 2025 NASCAR Powerball Playoff. And it's a great way to get on track for a chance to win $1,000. From May 27th to June 23rd, buy $2 of Powerball, enter the voucher number online, and you could be one of 20 winners of $1,000 and a chance to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Championship weekend at Phoenix Raceway. Roar into any Nebraska Lottery retailer and buy $2 of Powerball today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
4th of July weekend is coming soon, and you know what that means. Grilling season. You know what's more embarrassing than an overcooked piece of meat? A dirty, disgusting, and grimy grill. Let the pros at Husker Grill Cleaning get you ready for grilling season. They'll take your grill apart piece by piece, scrub every inch, and reassemble your grill so it can look and perform its best. Visit their website, HuskerGrillCleaning.com today to schedule your appointment. Husker Grill Cleaning, serving Lincoln, Omaha, Malcolm, and more. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes a ticket to USC plus Akron or Houston Christian and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Welcome to The Drive with A.D. Raff and Ahman Green. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska East sports coach, Ahman Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, welcome to this Make It Happen Monday. It's a new week, new day, and there are two champions crowned last night in their respective sports. We've got a lot of CWS to discuss with you this morning. We've got a lot of NBA to discuss with you this morning. And, man, there was a meltdown in Hartford, Connecticut yesterday at the Travelers PGA event. So there was a lot going on. Rafferty, how's it going, my man?
Good morning. How is everyone in Lincoln, Nebraska?
We're hot.
Yes.
It's hot, it's sticky, and it's windy. And I was telling somebody yesterday, guys, that the wind normally is like, man, it's refreshing. Thank goodness that the breeze is blowing. It's just blowing the hot air around. That's all it's doing. So it's just blowing all the hot air in your face. So, we're not even, it's almost too much wind now.
Yeah, there was a lot of draft that we've had there's a lot of tree damage, a lot of limbs and things like that down that were, it's been hot and windy. The wind has been pretty intense, man, along with the heat. We're going to talk more about, first of all, Raff, what's the weather looking like in Huntsville, Seattle, Southeast, I'll say?
We got sun right now. I think we might make it until maybe the weekend with no rain. I say that, but like I told you yesterday and the day before that, not expecting any rain Saturday and Sunday, and got rain both days. So anything's possible in Seattle, Southwest. Or Southwest, wherever I'm at, South somewhere.
Folks, we're going to get right into it. We were fortunate enough to get, and Raff reached out to our guy, Jeff Heinrichs, on yesterday. If you didn't watch the CWS, I'm sure you've heard about it. If not, just type in CWS umpire as far as that goes. And I know there's probably going to be a myriad of just opinions on the call yesterday. Basically, in the first inning, Coastal Carolina's coach and the assistant were both tossed out of the game by umpire, what is his last name again?
Angel Campos.
Angel Campos, who's had a little bit of history, of being quick on the draw, but that's either here or there right now. Jeff, thank you for joining us on short notice. And Raff reached out to you yesterday afternoon. Me and Raff were kind of on that same mindset. He said, what about Jeff? I'm like, dude, I was thinking about him. I'm sitting in my chair yesterday as I'm watching this. Jeff, good morning, brother.
Good morning, brother. Good to see you back. I know you were traveling around. Raff, thanks for reaching out. What did happen yesterday? My phone blew up about 1:30 in the afternoon. It just went crazy. So it was kind of, I spent the last weekend of Super Regionals at ESPN.
Nice.
I got hired to be the rules analyst, so I was there for the weekend.
You had
I was in Bristol. Yeah, went back with Scott Gustafson was the producer, and was with Chris Budden and Mike Rooney and Noah. I can never say his last name. Anyway, it was great. Things happen, rules interpretations, replays. So I was there for the weekend. So
did you watch the actual play happen?
I did.
Jeff, what is your, and Nick too, because I know, like I said, Nick's a connoisseur. You guys three are connoisseurs of this and know the game a lot better than what I do. Nick, before we let Jeff go, Nick, what was your opinion on it?
Well, so there's a couple of ways that you can look at this. So for those that don't know, it basically started, what was it? It was the bottom of the first inning. And Kevin Schnall, who was the bottom of the first or bottom of the second? It was bottom of the first.
Bottom of first, yeah.
So bottom of the first inning, Kevin Schnall, the Coastal Carolina manager, who's in his first year, by the way, as the manager of the Chanticleers, he basically, he got tossed. He got thrown out of the game. The home plate umpire, Angel Campos, basically gave them a warning. And Kevin Schnall, what he claimed in the post-game press conference was, he said, hey, there's 25,000 people there. I barely hear a warning. As a head coach, I feel like I am owed some respect to understand why we were warned. Why was my side warned? And he said, so I stepped out. I told him, asked him why we were warned. And he said, I was a 48-year-old man getting shooed away. And he said, I didn't like that. And he said, so I kept on walking out there to try to get more of an explanation. And ultimately, when it was all said and done, he said that I told him that he missed 3 calls already that day. And that then he tossed me. And so I look at it as both guys are at fault, but ultimately as a head coach, you have to understand the gravity of the situation. But Jeff obviously has a much more knowledgeable take on it, I'm sure.
Raff, what's your take on it, brother?
Well, I was just curious. I've been, thinking about, ever since I saw it, like thinking with Jeff, I was like, with balls and strikes, what do you usually let go when you're umping a game? Like, how far do you let it go before it finally escalates? Because it just felt like yesterday it escalated so quickly, and it didn't feel like it had to be that way.
Before Jeff goes in, I'm just going to say this. I first thought that he was, I'm not saying joking, because he definitely ain't joking. I was thinking maybe I missed something prior to him saying he said that was 3 balls. That's three that you called the wrong, that I felt you called the wrong way. I personally, Raff and Jeff, thought that, hey, the ref brings him aside, said, listen, you've been barking at me and it's got to stop. This is the championship. This is your last warning right here. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt if you didn't hear me, because it was, 20,000 people, the wind's blowing like crazy. In his defense, maybe he did not hear him. It's the championship game. To me, it seemed awfully quick. However, at the same time, even us watching the game, and Jeff, you there at ESPN Studios in Bristol, there's maybe things we didn't hear that the umpire heard that we didn't. To me, though, it seemed like it was rather quick to toss him out of a championship, out of a championship series. However, I'll give both guys the benefit of the doubt in that for the ref, maybe the umpire, maybe there's things we didn't hear that he heard. He was just tired of it. In the coach's defense, it's kind of like, look, dude, I didn't even hear what you yelled at me across the field. The wind's blowing. There's 20,000 people. I don't know. Jeff, you being the vet, what's your interpretation?
Well, first of all, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thanks for having me on, Raff. Thanks for reaching out yesterday. I just want to start with, I did not text the guys last night. I know after, the last game, they got to write reports. Things are going on. They're trying to pack, get out of there, get flights home, stuff like that. So I have not talked to the crew or anybody that was on the field. It is an unfortunate situation. Angel is taking a bunch of heat, and if you would know Angel, he's one of the nicest, best guys around. When everybody says, oh, he had 23 ejections in the big leagues, when you're an up and down guy in the major leagues, that's going to happen. That's part of athletics. You're the new guy. It's going to happen. What did happen, I think, from watching it, is the first base coach is the one that got the ball strike warning for Coastal Carolina. Angel goes and now tells the head coach that he now has a warning for balls and strikes.
So he heard that one clearly.
Yes, because what had happened is, I think the catcher probably said, hey, we're not getting these calls, went into the dugout because he said 3, he said it twice. And the second time I think he said it, there was a little, something in there that you can't say over the air. But so he told him, you now have a ball strike warning. What I want everybody to know is we always are told to get out warnings as umpires. What a warning means is, we probably should have ejected you for what you said, but we didn't. We're going to give you a warning to give you a second chance.
So Angel already gave him some grace.
No. I think what happened, I think Angel or the first base umpire may have gave a warning to the guy when he walked by. Okay, so there was the first base coach said something that I'm gonna guess that warranted that he could have been ejected, and didn't, and subsequently did when he walked by again with another cheap shot. And then he gave the warning, and instead of staying in the dugout and just saying why, the head coach takes 6 steps out and starts being demonstrative. I don't know, and ultimately gets ejected.
Talk about the difference in communication between for if you're an assistant coach or if you are a head coach, because that's one thing that Kevin Schnall specifically mentioned after the game was he was talking about. He's like, I was an assistant coach for 28 years. Here I was. I feel like I've earned this respect now that I'm the head coach to be able to go and have a conversation with the umpire. Talk about in your guys' roles as the umpires. Where's that communication line with like, yeah, okay, I can talk to an assistant coach, but at the end of the day, we got to have this conversation with the head coach.
Great question. You as an umpire, just like in here, you have to build up respect and talk to everybody. When you come out to start the game, you shake hand with both the first and the third base coach, and most likely the third base coach is an assistant coach. Not too many of them are the head coaches anymore. And you talk to them, find out what's going on. If you're having trouble with the player, talk to them. AD, hey, your right fielder, can you talk to him? He's getting a little chippy. We always go through them. If in the older days before replay, if it was a bang bang play at first base, it was the first base coach yelling at you before the head coach came out. It's like that's where it kind of comes from. Where, hey, I'm going to talk to the head coach. I'm not going to talk to you. That way, you could it doesn't look good going 2-on-1 or something like that. That's where he was coming from in the post game press conference, which used to be true. Let's just say this. I would say that most of the umpires that are at the College World Series can diffuse situations, can talk to people. They know what's going on and how to work together. I think it's the first ejection at the College World Series since 2018.
Oh, wow.
So that's a pretty good track record. AD and I were talking before we came on, and just to let you know, Raff, there was some talk between the two teams that was going on between both games. And I think you could see from the press conference from the Coastal Carolina coach that he had, some of the press conferences in the College World Series and afterwards, he's a little bit on edge. I get it. That's okay. And you just you have to know it. I hate to use this analogy, but it's the truth. When you're a police officer, the good ones can diffuse a situation.
Right.
When you're coming at a police officer and he says, stop, show your hands. If you don't stop and don't show your hands, it's not going to end well.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying it's that, but it's kind of this, hey, sometimes they don't always like when you put the stop sign up either, or like he said, shoo them away. All right. Like, hey, that's just the gesture, probably not the best one. And as umpires, we'll look at it. We'll come together, in the postseason in our respective leagues.
Very heated situation.
And talk about it.
Right.
What could we do better? We always do that. So we do not go out looking for that we're going to try to eject somebody in the first inning of a huge game. We know what the ramifications are when you walk out of the College World Series.
Jeff, could it just simply have been, also part of it, as somebody that's obviously been and done the fair share of College World Series games as an umpire, could it have just been also you look around and you have a very pro LSU crowd and the environment is as rich as it can be and the atmosphere, like just the human element comes through? Like the moment just because I have a feeling like when the camera crews pan to Campos behind the plate, like after everything happened, he's just kind of like staring directly at the pitcher. And I kind of had this feeling of like, he's probably sitting there going, holy crap, all of that just happened so fast. I hope I made the right call. I'm on this stage. Just the human element kind of just came through. I have a feeling.
If you don't think that your heart's pumping after you just eject two guys in game 2 of the World Series, there's something going on. I'm going to ask you this question. What if you were the head coach of Coastal and I was trying to work with you and would have said, okay, hey coach, if you would have just stayed in the dugout and said, why did we get a warning?
Yeah.
And then if you didn't hear after the half inning, come out and to Angel and say, hey, can I talk to you? It's
Sure.
loud. I didn't know what happened. Why did we get a warning? That would have worked perfect on both sides. And 26 ESPN cameras would have been on both of them.
Exactly.
And afterwards, it would have said Angel Campos. Sorry. Angel Campos and the head coach got it worked out. And it worked out great. So, as coaches, sometimes if you become the head of a league, you might have to have the talk with the coaches of, sometimes I think I should go into consulting with universities on how to talk to officials.
Yeah.
We've all seen certain coaches go crazy on the sidelines. There is a definite way when you have to go crazy, but how to say, hey, AD, I'm not getting these calls. That guy's holding this when he comes out. I can't get it off the break, on my go route. Can you help? Can you help me?
Right. Be looking for that.
Yeah. And if you do that in the right manner, most likely you might get a call. I've always thought about that, but I like to turn it around sometimes and say, hey, if you would have done this, how would have that turned out in the long run?
That's the thing is I think the moment got kind of swallowed up both sides because you have everything happening with the umpire and LSU's fans that are packed on the lower bowl, are jumping on their feet and yelling and screaming and hooting and hollering. But then you also have Kevin Schnall, who his back's up against the wall. His team's back is up against the wall. And then from a big picture perspective, you're talking about a team now that just lost the night before for the first time since April 22nd.
Yeah.
In over 2 months, they lost. They were in a position that they were not accustomed to being in. And so I feel like when we look back now, and I'm sure obviously, the 24-hour rule, all right, let's look back at this now 24 hours later after we have a chance to kind of catch our breath and take a step back. I'm sure both sides are probably in the moment or in the mindset of, okay, maybe I let the moment get the best of me. But for Kevin Schnall and Coastal Carolina specifically, I'm sure they're sitting there going, yeah, you know what? Maybe I in that moment, I was in an uncomfortable situation and I did not handle it correctly.
Well, let me just add this too. I totally agree with what you guys are saying. We talk about preventative officiating, and AD and I talked about this on the last show beforehand. I told him, he said, how do you do this? How do you handle it? And I said, when we talk to guys, we said, don't let emotion lead to commotion. Remember that?
I love that.
And so, it led to commotion. And here's the other thing that I want to ask you guys is, if he comes 6 steps out on the field like he did and doesn't get ejected and goes back when we let that go, what does that now let LSU do for the next 8 innings?
Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Raff.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with that.
Jeff, that's such a great point. First of all, I like how you said, don't let emotion lead to commotion. But to your point, if he lets LSU, if he lets Coastal Carolina's coach come out that far, LSU's going to themselves. Well, why'd you allow him to do that before in the first inning? Then, I personally, just from like I said, the observer looking out, I think that 24-hour rule. I think both guys might, whether they would admit it to us or not, it's none of our business. May admit, Swim, that
oh yeah,
maybe both of us maybe reacted pretty quick in that situation. If we look back at it, however, I will kind of somewhat tip my hat to the ref in that if you let him come out that far, not only do the coaches, it's kind of like an NBA game or a football game where you allow some late hits or some questionable hits go off early, you've almost lost control, but you've already set a precedent that you don't want to set for the entire rest of the game, because then it comes about whataboutism. Well, what about what you did in the first? So I think both sides of it, maybe in retrospect, that 24-hour rule can maybe look back and say, maybe I could have handled that differently. Maybe I could have handled that differently. Nevertheless, I see what the ref's coming from, but I see where the coach is coming from. It was an unfortunate situation. Here's the deal. Now, of course, if you're a Coastal Carolina fan, you think this sucks. But here's the reality. Now it's not a question because they lost anyway.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So there wasn't, because think about this. This storyline, the narrative would have been happening. It would have been percolating all night. Well, the coach is not here for the final game because he got tossed out by Angel last night. So that maybe mitigated a lot more stress on him, if you would have, and maybe Coastal Carolina too, because then it's, well, you didn't have your coaches while you lost. Well, and it hurts not to have your coach, 2 of them, as far as that goes.
Without a doubt.
It hurts not to have them in there.
I think there's also, before we get to break, Jeff, I think that there's also something to be said about, it's really unfortunate because now this clouds the narrative of the entire College World Series. There were zero there were zero issues with now granted, there's been some pushback on the hit by pitches and things like that, which maybe we can get to in the next segment here if you have time to stick around for a quick second. But I think like ultimately the competitiveness of the College World Series was spectacular this year.
Oh man.
There were no real blowouts. There were a couple of comeback finishes. You had the drama in the Arkansas LSU game. This was, and really there was no weather delays other than the one night that LSU then had to play LSU or UCLA the next morning. This was a really, really good College World Series tournament.
Arkansas's pitcher almost having the perfect.
Well, he had a no-hitter.
Yeah.
And so how could I forget that one? So then here, unfortunately, in game 2, in the last game of the college baseball season, this is going to be a storyline when it was probably avoidable if guys just handle it a little more maturely.
I totally agree. I mean, I always have umpire blood in me. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
And we are the necessary evils that have to be out there, and we do not want something like this to happen. And trust me, we will go back and look and say, hey, what could we do better? But yeah, I'd love to talk about the hit by pitch because that is the biggest problem right now in college baseball.
We're going to discuss that.
And so, yeah, I'll stick around one more time. I got a buddy that I'm going to go pick up. He went to high school with him. He's an Army vet, and it just had his leg amputated. I'm taking him to get his prosthetic fit. So kind of looking forward to that. And he's looking forward to that. So, yeah, I told Raff when I was here I had to do it early because I'm going to pick him up, take him to the doctor. So for all you people that don't think we're human, we are. But, yeah, let's go another segment. Love to.
Folks, we'll be back with former MLB, CWS College umpire Jeff Heinrichs. We'll be back for one more segment with him. We're going to let him get out of here. It's The Drive. Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage, 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still though have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at cobblecars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G289358.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes a ticket to USC plus Akron or Houston Christian and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Gray on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, we are back on this magnificent Monday. Got Jeff Heinrichs in the house, folks. And as always, we always like to talk about who makes this happen. And we will talk about that, what makes it happen. We're going to get right into it with Jeff, though, because we want to respect his time. He's got things to do this morning as well, some very important things to do. Jeff, ESPN, before we hop in back in the baseball per se, tell us about the new journey you got going on right here, new opportunity.
Well, they got a hold of me last year, and we're thinking about bringing in a rules analyst like they do for, the NBA and for football. Mm-hmm. And being at the World Series 8 times, I've got to, always wore hat cam. So we always, working with ESPN and the production crew and the producers. So Scott Gustafson got a hold of me, and I wasn't doing super regional. So he asked if I'd come back and come out to Bristol and sit in on squeeze play. Mm-hmm. So that was really fun. I got to sit with Dari Noka. Now I remember his name. And
Lincoln for years ago.
He was. And then Chris Budden and Mike Rooney. So had about 8 plays that I went over and got to see some things on there. And it was kind of cool because the first one was a ball up the first baseline where it was the home umpire's call, but he got blocked by the batter runner going up first base. Mm-hmm. And so the first base umpire called it foul. They brought me on live. I went through it and they loved it. And all of a sudden, of course, Twitter, here it comes. My phone blows up.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a guy on Twitter that's officiating observer said, "Hey, at Jeff Henricks, great job of explaining. We need more of this." And I talked about eye contact between the two umpires. You could see he didn't see it. The guy looks around, other guy looks at him, but they both had sunglasses. So some person on Twitter just blasted me. That shows how stupid you are that they both have eye or sunglasses on. How do you know that they saw each other? There's no way they could see each other's eyes. And I just wanted to reply back, but I'm like, no,
it's not worth it.
That ain't going to
Not
happen.
worth it.
You know, that ain't going to happen.
It's not worth it, Kevin Schnall.
That's right. I'll give you 3 times.
Yeah.
3.
I'll reply 3 times.
So I'm going to do that to my wife when I get home, you know, and just say there's 3 times to see how that goes over, right?
You'll be here at the station a lot more than you planned
That's,
on.
Can I move with you? So no, it was a lot of fun. We had to work on some things. I had all 8 cameras going on the different games, but they had the camera over here, so they wanted me to talk into the camera, but I had to look at the replays that were going on. So we kind of had to fix that with the boom going over the top of the camera and things like that. But it was awesome. It's sad because there's a lot, you know, the scores, the TrackMans, the plays. There's a lot of good umpiring out there, and just one blow up, you know, kind of takes 2 steps back.
That's exactly what I talked about when last time you were in here. Is I brought that up of, you know, there's, especially in Major League Baseball, there's that account umpire scorecards that will analyze every single home plate umpire's his performance, and it's, you know, hey, does it favor one team over the other, and did it give an a run differential for the Cincinnati Reds over the Chicago White Sox, or this, that, and the other. And we pick apart these performances, and instead, we'll have, I saw one yesterday that was like 98% accurate. And it's like, instead of focusing on the 2% and talking about how they need to be better, how they miss these crucial calls, let's look at the sample size and look at the 98% that they got correct.
Right.
And it's truly spectacular when you think about how good some of these umpires are.
Well, and to just belabor your point, they want it to be electronic now. And so what you don't realize is, think about this. If you want electronic balls and strikes, they have that. It's called the ABS system now in AAA, where they can go. There are balls that are coming through and bouncing, and they're being called strikes. If the wind is over more than 15 miles an hour, it messes up some of the cameras.
Yeah.
And for all of you out there that have ever had a computer or phone, when your computer dies for 15 minutes or the Wi-Fi goes out, what's going to happen with the ABS system when that happens? So 96, and think about, good or bad, think about all the talk that's going on about the College World Series today.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's why we love sports. You know, whether it's the Bill Buckner ball going through the middle of his legs, whether it's this play or whatever, it gives us Monday morning quarterbacks something to talk about and keep sports going.
Let's talk hit by pitches here, because that was the one thing, I guess, controversy in that point over the College World Series has been hit by pitches. And a lot of it is because replay is accessible and you can go back and you can slow it down and it's not real time, and you can go and say, all right, did the batter make an unorganic move to try to get hit by the baseball? My thought on all of this, Jeff, and I'm fascinated to get yours, is if the ball is inside the batter's box, it doesn't matter what the batter does. It is a hit by pitch, and he should be awarded first base. But we saw it over the weekend with LSU 2 nights ago. I believe it was in game 1. He gets hit by the pitch, or it might even have been Arkansas. I think it was game 1. He gets hit by the pitch, and they're saying, yep, he moved his elbow down. You have the guys in the booth on ESPN and Carl Ravitch and those guys talking about how, yeah, there's a clear move towards the baseball. Well, it impeded the space it impeded the space that is, by definition, the batter's box. It belongs to the batter.
I'm going to be careful a little bit what I say here.
There you go.
I
know. I said the network.
I agree with you 100%. Let me say this, and I know we're on YouTube and stuff like that, but the easiest way is if you take your elbow to the ball, it's a hit by pitch. Excuse me, it's a strike.
Yes.
If the ball's in the batter's box, I agree with you 100%. I don't care what you do. The pitcher made a mistake, right? We call, I can't say it over the air, but if you take the bottom end of the stick, that I always rule that way. So if the elbow goes out here and it gets hit, he took the elbow to the ball. That's a strike.
Exactly.
Here's how we would fix it. Easy fix. If you have an elbow pad on and it hits the elbow pad, it's a dead ball. You stay here. because those guys now are trying to get hit with the pads.
Because then you don't feel it.
Then you don't feel
Yeah,
it.
you don't feel it.
It'll never happen because of a safety issue. But if the ball is inside, we call it the river, in between the two batters boxes and in the plate right in there. If you get hit in there, then it's a called strike. But now guys are actually, and I'll try to describe it for the people on the radio, they're turning their left shoulder. If you're a right-handed hitter, you're turning in, and it does move your elbow out a little bit, and you're getting hit by the pitch. But, Coastal Carolina has done that very well to get on base. So
exactly.
Within the rules, teams in all sports try to figure out a way to circumvent it.
They try to manipulate it.
And that's happening now in our game, and we need to fix it.
It's wild because you're just so accustomed to just turn your back, like get hit in the back.
Yes,
that's where it's at. Now guys are going with the elbow because they have the pad on, and it's what happened to just turn your back and take it in the meat of the back.
Here's the other thing that's happening now that we see is if there's a squeeze play and the guy has a good jump, teams are now telling their pitchers to throw and hit the guy so that the squeeze doesn't happen.
Because here's the conversation, right? That driving the elbow into the pitch. So I would run out the moment before the game. Jeff tells me this. I'm going to ask him. But I coach my players to elbow drive to flatline the bat to the ball, not knowing where the ball is going to be within a confined space. If he hits the elbow guard on the step into the plate, is that him conceding that he cannot be hit by pitch?
No, it's a great question. If you do that, if you think about it, on an inside pitch, you've got to keep your hands in. Correct? So now the elbow is going to come this way. If it's outside, then your elbow has to go out to extend your hands to go out there. What we were talking about, Nick was talking about, is I think it's very simple. If the ball is on the batter's box line or inside, it's a hit by pitch. If the ball's from the batter's box, what we call the river, which is the 6 inches between the batter's box line and the inside of the plate, that's a hit by pitch. Or excuse me, that should be a called strike.
Right. That's the conversation that should happen because
before the game,
because every hitting coach has verbiage that he uses to his hitters.
Correct.
And if he knows, quite frankly, the line belongs to me, and you better clarify what part of the line. All the line? All the line?
So going in.
You know what it is. And pitchers know, catchers know, hitters know, skippers know.
Here two things on that too. Of the 100, let's say there was 100 replays in postseason. I'll bet 80% of them are hit by pitch. It stops the game. It's trying to get hit by it, and they're throwing hard. I mean, if you don't have an elbow pad on at 95 to 100, you do not want to get hit. I've got hit too many times in the mask over. You guys can probably tell how many times I've got hit, but you do not want to get hit by a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Take Bob Gibson back in the day. If you even looked at him wrong,
you were getting it.
You were getting it, and and you didn't want to get it because you couldn't charge the mound on Bob Gibson.
No,
that part
too. He'd whoop you.
Be like charging a defensive end.
Yeah, that's right. So what happens? It's kind of like hockey. We have taken out of baseball some of the things that police the game to protect the game, and it's kind of protected the hitters and taken away from the pitchers.
Yeah, and I'm full in team. I'll let y'all finish. But I'm full on team. I think using hit by pitch as leverage, as a get even, should be removed from the game. That's just me. I'm old school. I'm old school, but I believe that throwing at a batter as a way to correct the game, strategy, that's Jeff's job. It's Jeff's job to manage the game. It's my job to coach the players.
Well, and just on that point, so you hit a home run and you celebrate and do everything wrong, right? And you don't get ejected. In the old days, what we were taught is there's two ways to hit you the right way. If you get hit the waist and below, we're going to warn everybody.
Yep.
If it's a waist and above, we know what's going on. The pitcher's ejected. You're going after the guy.
We just saw it 2 days ago or over the weekend with the Padres-Dodgers.
Right.
With the whole Shohei Ohtani, Fernando Tatis after they hit Shohei on a 3-0 fastball.
Boy, did I tee that up for you.
I know, right?
There you go.
Fernando Tatis gets hit in the hand, and Mike Schilt, the Padres manager, is like, he comes out, Dave Roberts and him are getting into it, and then he's like, there's a guy back there getting x-rays, and you better hope that he's not out for an extended period of time. And it's like, okay, this is what we're talking about. You mentioned game flow also. Baseball as a whole in the big picture, and Major League Baseball, minors, and also in college, there's been so much conversation about how can we continue the game flow. Things like this with the hit by pitch, the replay piece of it, like you said, it disrupts that game flow.
Yeah, I mean, we're all trying. We talked about it. You know, you take UCLA, for example. I love Coach Savage, but it's the old Rich Hill that's Hawaii. Jay Johnson was his first base coach back at USD in 98, 99. I used to have conversations with him over there. He was telling me about how he wanted to become a head coach and everything like that and get a couple base hits. Catcher goes out and talks. Then he comes back, and then here comes Coach Savage walking slower than any of us would ever walk our dog in the morning, going out to the pitcher. And it's a 5-minute break just to break the momentum. So, I mean, that's why we love baseball. It's why we hate baseball.
Exactly.
It's just part of the game.
Folks, we can't thank Jeff Heinrichs enough for coming in and hanging out with us. It definitely won't be the last, because just the insight that he brings, it sheds a lot of light, a lot of answers, and just intrigues us that much more. And congratulations on your new gig as well with ESPN, and well-deserved, brother. Folks, we'll be right back. It's The Drive. It's Magnificent Monday, 937 A Ticket.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes a ticket to USC plus Akron or Houston Christian and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers in these moments, especially this afternoon.
Otherwise, mainly cloudy and breezy with the high near 89. Tonight, showers and storms are likely, low near 69. And tomorrow, with a continued chance of showers and storms, the afternoon high near 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still though have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at cobblecars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G289358.
The Lincoln Light Guy salutes the men and women of our military and veterans for the sacrifices they've made. Keep them in your thoughts, prayers, and letters from home until these trying times are over. Our troops are fighting hard around the clock to defend our great country and keep freedom alive worldwide. For this, we salute them and may God bless America. This from Lincoln Light Guy. Locally owned and operated, installing and servicing permanent, holiday, and special occasion lighting for your home or business.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back. We want to thank Jeff Heinrichs again, man, for taking time out of his busy schedule to come in and educate with insight, with background, and all the rest of that stuff. And I would also entertain. Jeff is a guy that just kind of even if you're not an avid baseball fan, he does it. He makes it so clear. He simplifies sometimes what can be foreseen as complicated. So a big shout out to Jeff again. Raff, thanks again. Big fella, for lining that up with him on yesterday at such short notice. But as usual, folks, this segment is brought to you by Jack Russell, Farm Bureau Financial Services. Jack has been a well-respected rep since 1999. Can help protect your home, your vehicle, your family, or even your future. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or in Seward and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you. Rafferty, what you got for history to start it off, my man?
All right. Today's history goes out to, it's minor league baseball, actually. On this day in 1981, the Pawtucket Red Sox and Rochester Red Wings played a game, and it lasted 33 innings.
Oh, my goodness.
8 hours.
33 innings.
8 hours and 25 minutes of baseball. The final score was 3-2. So it is the longest professional baseball game that's ever been played.
Speaking of longevity, Raff, that just seems absolutely insane. Speaking of longevity, 1961 Cubs, Ernie Banks.
Uh-oh, Cubs.
The Cubs, you say?
The year Cubs. How many games consecutively did he play?
Oh, I already know this one by heart. Raff, do you know?
I have no idea.
717.
Yes. Ends his 717 consecutive games played streak. Dude, that is insane to think about with what they were working with at that time. Meaning, at the time, everything is state of the art because that's your genre, that's your time. But you think about it, he didn't have the nutritional things we have today, the different pools and health facilities, medical upgrade. So it's just that generation across all sports, they were just built different.
It's the same thing that we talk about with pitchers nowadays, where it's just like you'd have guys, Cy Young and those guys way back when, that would go out and throw 100 pitches, and maybe they weren't throwing to the velocity, but I mean, Bob Gibson threw upper 90. I mean, so you're out there throwing 100 pitches a day, and then a day later with no rest and maybe some ice and not a whole lot of other things. You didn't have the band work. You didn't have all the recovery things that they have now. And over this this awkward arm motion. It's not natural. So you're just throwing and snapping that elbow time and time again. Guys were just built different.
Yeah, they were, man.
Tough.
What about load management? They didn't have load management back then?
They did not. They did not. I would guarantee that even if they were up by 18 in game 6 of the NBA finals, they're not resting their guys.
And you know what, Rav? That is, in my opinion, is one of the reasons why the NBA, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the many that just for me, that I don't watch it until the playoffs. Load management, I was watching this 30 for 30 over the weekend, and it was showing the bad boys, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, just that whole genre of guys, that whole team. And just watching the highlights, Rav, I'm thinking, if they played basketball like this, now obviously some of it went over the edge, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
course.
literally, when you had to have the Jordan rules put in and against it. But they didn't have load management and things of that nature. This whole playoffs for me, I loved it because they went out and played, going back to an Ernie Banks and those guys. They just, you know what, this is my job. I'm going to go out and perform. And some of these folks paid a premium for a ticket. Maybe the only time they see me play, I'm going to play.
And I know we're going to talk about this in the 10 o'clock hour, but I mean, the stuff with Tyrese Haliburton, and then you have it on the other side where he plays, he's not 100% going with the calf strain. And you wonder if that played a factor into him potentially
to overcompensate.
Potentially with an Achilles injury. And so, I mean, guys, how about this in history for NBA stuff? This just shows how much the 2010 to 2025 is just essentially a blur for, I think, a lot of people. Because Kawhi Leonard on this day in 2011 was selected in the NBA draft.
Wow.
And then in 2011 in the NBA draft, the first pick of the draft by the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving. Those guys have been in the league they're going to be going into their 15th year in the league. That is insane to think about, because you look back and go, where's the time gone? These guys are now long-time NBA vets towards the back end of their careers.
They are definitely, in the words of the movie In Life, the upper room. They're in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, time to hang them up. All right, how about this, guys, real quick before we get to break into the 10 o'clock hour. This day in 2003, Barry Bonds steals second base against the Dodgers, becoming the first player to have 500 home runs and 500 steals.
22 years ago that happened, which seems ridiculous.
I was 2 years old.
Oh, my goodness, Nick.
I love it. I remember watching it vividly.
John and Cortland, good morning.
500 steal.
John and Cortland, good morning.
Or Cheerios.
And I thought Billy Martin and almost were the tops of the craziness. And yesterday in Omaha, jacked in the first inning. Have a good day, gentlemen. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Kip, what's happening, brother? He goes, Leonard had played like 6 of those seasons. Yeah, he did get a championship in there, but yeah, there were some injuries for sure. Folks, we come back. We got some more CWAs and also a lot of NBA to discuss, because both of those crowned champions on yesterday. It was a championship day yesterday.
Sure
as
was.
far as sports. We'll talk when we come back. It's The Drive.
Gamet Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I want to ride. Do you want to ride? June is officially riding month at Rod's Power Sports, Nebraska's largest volume Honda Power Sports dealership. Come in now and take advantage of huge savings and a great inventory selection during Rod's I Want to Ride celebration days all month long. Simply schedule a qualified demo ride on one of their new Honda motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, or side-by-sides, or purchase a new or used vehicle, and you get a free custom I Want to Ride t-shirt. Plus, all month long, they have 10% discounts on all wearables, parts, accessories, and oil change kits when purchased with a new or used Honda. Free refreshments served each Saturday morning in June. Just show up and say, I want to ride, and they'll fix you up with some free stuff and help you pick out that new ride. Come ride with Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln or online at rodspowersports.com. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda Power Sports vehicles are for riders 16 years and older. Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, You can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Welcome to The Drive with AD Raff and Ahman Grain. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach, Ahman Grain.
Look at Green, all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, we are back on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. It's kind of a cooker out there, but I'll take it.
It's better than the opposite.
You ain't lying, man.
I mean, this even on days like this, though, guys, I'm still thankful it's not 10 degrees, because in the winter, all we're asking for is, can it please be about 95 at 7 a.m.? Well, now we got it. That's exactly what we're getting.
It doesn't bother me at all. Gentlemen, as we dive a little bit in the CWS and we'll hit the NBA as well, we'll talk very briefly on the CWS. We talked about it quite a bit up to this point, but there was a lot to discuss and unpack. Again, we can't thank Jeff Heinrichs enough for filling in. DP committed as well, giving some insight on what he was doing when he was the former coach as well. Having that conversation before the games with the refs, Raff, was always intriguing to me, Swim, to where they would say, hey, be looking out for this, be looking out for that, be looking out for this. Raff, let me ask you this, though. In retrospect and looking back at it in hindsight, if you're Coastal Carolina's coach right now, besides obviously the game, obviously, but this is totally hypothetical, are you thinking you got a raw deal? Are you thinking in retrospect, like, dang, maybe I should have just tampered it down? Or heck, maybe he should have just listened to me and gave me the opportunity to voice my frustration?
Oh, I think the way Jeff explained it, I when he explained it, like the first base coach had already been chirping or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think that was probably where the lost in translation came with the head coach. So I'm guessing as he's looking back at it now, he's probably seeing how the events transpired, but I'm guessing he's still probably a little bit upset because the one first base umpire ran into him and then was throwing up the 2-game suspension or whatever because of contact, and he was upset about that. That was that was weird. Very weird. But
yeah, so to provide more context to that situation, the biggest reason why he threw up the 2, right, for an additional 2-game suspension was because after Schnall had gotten tossed, he continued to stay out there. So the NCAA rule is that essentially you have to leave immediately. And if you don't leave immediately, then you get another game tacked on to your ejection. And so now granted, there's a very good chance that the NCAA might look at that, like Jeff was kind of talking about, and say, okay, you know what, the first base umpire, whichever one rushed in, okay, he tripped on Campus's foot. Now granted, okay, so
that was one heck of a trip too.
Jeff has kind of changed my thought. I came into this thinking today of, okay, you know what, the umpire was in the wrong, and Kevin Schnall had every right to kind of want an explanation, but I've kind of changed my opinion on it. However, the best line of the entire post-game press conference yesterday from Kevin Schnall, guys, was him saying, I shouldn't be held responsible for another grown man's lack of athleticism. I mean, that was one of the best lines I think I've ever heard in a press conference. But hey, give credit to the umpire, because that man, he like somersaulted backwards and then hopped up, and he was right back up with Kevin Schnall. I mean, I was like, all right, this dude just fell over in front of a couple 100,000 people watching on TV and 25,000 watching in the stadium, and he basically just parkoured right out of it. I mean, it was all good.
Let me ask you guys this. Are those two games, so we got obviously the game, are those two games, do those carry over into next year?
They would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which the assistant coach, the first base coach, and Kevin Schnall praised him after game one, talking about how the importance of that specific coach. He gets a 3-game suspension. So he'll be out for a couple of more than even Schnall will. So, but there's probably a very good chance the NCAA will look at it. We know how the NCAA operates. They're going to look at it and deem it as excessive, and deem it that he should not be suspended for any additional games, and he might be coaching at opening day next year. So there's still plenty of time. But ultimately, hey, shout out to LSU, because now we're talking so much about the team that lost the College World Series.
Mm-hmm.
How about the team that won it? The LSU Tigers yesterday, they have now won 2 titles in the last 3 years. Jay Johnson, after he took over for a legend in the game in Paul Maneri a few years ago, he has now led the LSU Tigers to multiple national championships, and he's done it in different ways. 2 years ago in 2023, or now 3 years ago in 2023, they did it via the long ball. They did it with power guys. This year, it was pitching, defense, manufacture runs. They've won games different ways, and they've now cemented themselves as, in the last 15 years, they've put a lot of guys in the league, number one. Number two is they've certainly had their fair share of postseason success.
This is number 8, as you mentioned, for LSU. Raff, LSU travels just in droves like crazy. You look at where this sets them up yet, and I'm not sure how many guys they got coming back. Because obviously, the transfer portal things of that nature.
It's very fluid.
It's a fluid situation. Raff, not that they needed this one but you look what LSU has done. Number 8. Does this put them into the? I'm not going to use the word dynasty, because for me, dynasty, you got to be winning those suckers about every other year, at least, in the conversation which they have. Does this put LSU in the upper echelon, though?
Oh, yeah. I think they've been there. I think when Skip Bertman was the coach there, I think he put them up in that. But this is just that continualization of it, which, usually when you have a legendary head coach and they step down, there's a downfall in the program. It's showing that, hey, we're able to continue business, with other coaches, because everybody thought when Skip stepped down at LSU that it would probably, slow down in LSU baseball, which, I mean, we've seen it in all the programs. I mean, even our own football team, and other, programs around the nation, when that legendary guy steps down, there's a bit of a downfall, but they've been able to, continue to be a powerhouse in college baseball, and they'll continue to be a powerhouse in college baseball. Just the hotbed that LSU is for baseball.
Well, they certainly will be, and they have a calm, cool, and collected, as we saw over the weekend, right? We want to talk about compare and contrast. The way that Jay Johnson handled adverse situations, or maybe some judgmental, controversial umpire decisions, he handled it a little bit different, right? And people take note of that. LSU has a history. I mean, I think that they are probably a top 3 college baseball program of all time, and the reason I say that, they're second in the entire country in national titles, behind USC. I believe USC has 12 national titles. Texas is behind LSU with 6 of them. And then obviously LSU, as you said, AD, is in the middle there with 8. So you have that. They've won, what was it? They've won 4 of them now since 2003. They were runner-up in 2017. They have plenty of notable alumni with Todd Walker and obviously Ben McDonald, who you heard on the crew on the broadcast over the weekend. But then also more recent guys in Paul Skeens, Dylan Cruz, Aaron Nola is on there, Alex Bregman, who is my favorite player of all time. So like you have these situations. That was sarcasm, by the way. But anyway, no. So I mean, you have not a mix of postseason success, and they've been able to stay relevant throughout the entire 21st century, really since 2003. So yeah, I think that they're in a really, really good spot, and they've had notable coaches, right? Paul Maneri, obviously, you mentioned the other one, and now Jay Johnson is quickly asserting himself as one of the best coaches in college baseball with 2 national titles.
Well, folks, that is the final. LSU claims their 8th. Their first, they took a break for 2 years and got it again. They are your 2025 CWS champions.
WIB on the text line, 402-464-5685, makes an interesting point. And this is kind of one of the thoughts that I had. Wendell says, I don't think the coach for Coastal Carolina changes the outcome of that game, but I hate to see the umps make it about them and not about the game. Taking away that last statement, the simple competitive standpoint or, approach to that is go out and win the ball game. Go out and win the ball game. And I actually thought that we see this every now and then, guys, when coaches, whether it's in basketball, get teed up or whether they get kicked out of the game in other sports, sometimes that invigorates the bench. Sometimes that injects life into the sideline. And Coastal came out, hit that solo shot in left field, which on a day like yesterday would have been a little bit tougher because that wind was kind of blowing at a crosswind towards that left field line. And it barely gets over that left field wall, but it counts all the same. I thought that, okay, Coastal, they look at this and say, all right, this is an adverse moment for us. Let's take it by the horns and let's run with it. But LSU was too dominant. And Anthony Iacin, who is the pitcher that pitched against Nebraska when Nebraska played LSU this year, he was really, really special from the start. It was going to be one of those things that out of the gate with Iacin, he had been, kind of one of the red flags for him is that he sometimes allowed the moment to kind of dictate how he performed. And he started out really, really strong, struck out 4 of his first 6 batters. It was a dream start for the LSU Tigers yesterday, despite the solo shot. But guys, it's what we talk about every single time. Raff, AD, is you allow and you put limits on free base runners. You don't allow guys to get on base via free passes, and the solo shots don't kill you. If Ianson walks 2 Coastal batters and there's runners on first and second, guess what? A 3-0 ball game is a lot different than a 1-0 ball game in game 2 of a championship series.
Well, speaking of when your coach gets tossed or your star player gets hurt, that's exactly what happened with Indiana last night. Chris Halliburton having experiencing a horrible Achilles tendon tear that took place yesterday. Oklahoma City caps off a 5th most in NBA history as far as tied as far as regular season games won. They won 68, set a league record for margin of victory at 12.9 points per game, and had the league MVP in SGA on their squad yesterday as they bring home the franchises. Remember, they were the Seattle Supersonics prior to going to Oklahoma City in 2008. And it had been years and years and years since Seattle had won anything. But they made that move to OKC in 2008. And they they did stave off probably one of the biggest upsets in NBA Finals history by holding on to win 103. Wait till that fire engine goes by. 103-91 last night. In a game at first, you guys, and Raff, at first when Halliburton goes down, OKC, they just said, okay, this is what it is. Indiana, I'm sorry, said this is what it is. And they played with a lot of firepower, a lot of passion. But Raff, eventually OKC just overwhelmed them, man.
Yeah, I had SGA and Jalen Williams. I mean, they were a lethal 1-2 punch last night. And then you had Chet Holmgren that played really well. Yes. So their big 3 really took over that game for them. It hurt Indiana. They still were scrappy after the Halliburton injury, but you could tell that took a little bit out of them. But I'll tell you one thing, though. If I am Mark Dagnall, the head coach, I'm having some words with whoever put those buses inside the arena last night before the game. I mean, I cannot even believe those would be even an eye shot of another team or the media or anybody having 2025 NBA champion buses already painted up before the game started. That's a little bit scary. That's one way to get another team very upset right away.
That was awfully gutsy for them to have that last night. You look at the final stats for the OKC Thunder. As far as got Holmgren had 18 points. Williams, of course, Jalen at 20. And then SGA, just obviously being SGA, played 40 minutes last night, dropped in 29 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists. Then you had a slew of brothers. Caruso had up in 10 points. Wallace dropped in 10. And then Harnstein chipped in 7 as well. Nick, OKC, it seemed like they said, okay, we know there's going to be a surge after Halliburton gets hurt because as well as I do that Indiana was going to try to use that as fuel. Say, you know what, we're going to win this one for him. Then you got obviously Siakam that tried to do his thing at 16 points and Martin at 24 points. But there was just too much for them to overcome. OKC was in a groove. Indiana did a great job of withstanding that first 4-minute surge that I talked about, and they flattened things out, but OKC was not going to be denied last night.
Yeah, you're right. And I think from a big picture standpoint, guys, Oklahoma City is set up to do some really good things for the Thunder the next couple of years. You look at their future contract situations, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, is going to be in line for a Supermax extension for 4 years, $300 million or whatever it is. Because he's going to be all NBA first team, and there's rules and parameters set on that. But from a team that won, like you said, AD, 68 games this year, there is not a single player from that rotation heading to free agency.
Not one.
Sam Presti, their general manager, has done a marvelous job the last couple of years, and we've talked about it ad nauseum, right? Kind of not throwing away, but trading away a lot of guys, and then bringing in draft picks and then drafting the right people. How about this, guys? In 2027, so not this upcoming draft, but in the next draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to have 4 draft picks in the 2 rounds of the NBA draft. They're set up for the future incredibly well. It's going to be interesting to see how they supplement their roster as well. They have a couple of team options around, like guys like Jalen Williams and things like that, but are they able to supplement their roster and even improve some more with maybe like a free agent like Malcolm Brogdon, who's one of the guards that can shoot the ball incredibly well. So I'm interested to see what the Thunder do, how they operate this offseason, who do they try to re-sign, but for right now, or extend, I should say. But for right now, on a team that won 68 games this year, not a single guy in their rotation is heading to free agency, and so they hold all the cards, and they're going to be a contender for the next 3 to 5 years for sure.
Raff, let's flip it over to Indiana, man, with the uncertainty of their roster, because they do have some things they're going to have to handle, some business they're going to have to handle, contracts and signings, etc. The future of Halliburton, when he'll be back, because as we all know, an Achilles injury, there's some time to be on that, whether he's ready to go back, whether to start, playing in October. I obviously you're not going to see that happening right away. But there's a lot of questions they have in Indiana right now, Raff. What's your initial thoughts on them postseason?
Yeah, I like said, like with Halliburton, for instance. I mean, Achilles tendon. I know you've had some people that have returned quickly from like the Aaron Rodgerses who in football, but basketball is a whole different sport. That could be one of those injuries that they might hold him out the entire next year for him to rehab. So that throws, you have one of your key cogs, potentially gone for, the year, if not most of it. So that right there puts everything in flex with that team. They've got some chips, but I think you're going to have to probably go out and find another center. They need to get more production. I thought they should have got more production out of the center, but yeah, they've got some stuff that they're going to have to work on. It's very interesting to see how they'd be looked at if they would have won the championship without Halliburton last night to them losing. But I feel like they got a lot. That injury could not have happened at a worse time for Halliburton last night, not only for the game, but for next year.
Well, for the Pacers, obviously they operate a little bit different because of the market that they're in. The notable there's a couple of notable free agents, but the one that is kind of stands out above the rest is Miles Turner.
Absolutely.
So they got to decide what they want to do with Miles Turner, who's played his entire career, if I'm not mistaken, with the Indiana Pacers, and so he's a guy from Texas, from the University of Texas. That is Miles Turner, obviously. Guys, I just think for the Indiana Pacers, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not going to try to sit here and act like I'm a medical professional and talk about Achilles injuries and things like that. But now there's been a lot of notable players here that have now torn Achilles or popped them, and Strick's going to be able to talk a little bit about this later today, I'm sure, just because he's done it. But when you look at some notable players, Damian Lillard's on that list now. You have obviously Tyrese Halliburton. Kevin Durant did it a few years ago. Speaking of Kevin Durant, he had himself a day yesterday. But so we can talk about that. But yeah, so we'll see what the rehab time is for a guy like Tyrese Halliburton. And maybe now's the time we talk about contenders for next year Oklahoma City is certainly in that conversation. Indiana kind of popped out I don't want to say nowhere, but nobody really saw them being able to take the East the way they did, especially over the Knicks and the Celtics primarily. But then now you have a team in the Western Conference that's going to be contending with the Thunder, and that's the Houston Rockets, guys. The Houston Rockets made that trade yesterday for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is going to go play for Houston, and the head coach there is Ime Udoka, obviously. And Kevin Durant seems to be pretty excited that he's going to be a Houston Rocket. So now you look at the two of the top teams in the West and go, it's the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder, who 5 years ago were really, really bad.
Well, you know, speaking real quick at Indiana before I hop to Durant, you think about Indiana. I was looking at this right now. They have 13 players, including Turner, who earned under $20 million this past season. So you know that blueprint is definitely going to be tested. You bring it to Durant. He found out when he was at the Fanatics.
Fest.
Full, you know, the Fest event that was going on there. The reporter, forget her name, asked him the number of questions. He did have his say in some teams he wanted to go to, and that was one of his teams that he wanted to go to. You guys, this is his fifth team. Okay, this is Durant's fifth team during his career. Fellas, let me ask you this, and Raff, I'll start with you. Nick, I want you to answer this too. Do you think Durant, obviously we can't speak for him, but do you think he'd have been better off just staying in Golden State than rather than what he's going through right now? Or do you think it was advantageous for him to get out of there and do what he did down in for the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, well, looking back at it now, I think that he probably would have wanted to stay at Golden State. They might have had a few more title runs with him, because I think, didn't he go Golden State, Brooklyn, Phoenix?
He went Brooklyn to Golden State.
Oh, it was Brooklyn to Golden State. Okay, yeah. But yeah, no, but we look at that too. We were talking about guys kind of coming up to the ends of their career. I mean, wasn't Kevin Durant drafted by the Seattle Supersonics?
Yep, absolutely.
So he's already on going into what, year 18. So
he's been in the league a long time, and it seems like his days of playing for Texas was like eons ago.
Yeah, I was wrong. It was Golden State to Brooklyn. Sorry, Raff. You were right on that one.
Yeah, so I think looking back on it, I think that he probably wishes he probably would have stayed. But right now, I don't see him being that. Like they said, it was the blockbuster trade. Yes, was that yesterday or 2 days ago? I get my. But it's just crazy, you know. It's just like you look at it, like he's going into year 18. I mean, like Father Time catches up with everyone. So I don't think it's quite like the Needle Turner trade that what it might have been, you know, say, 4 or 5 years ago.
But the haul that Phoenix gets in return for him. So the official details of the trade here, the Phoenix Suns send KD to Houston. In return, the Phoenix Suns get Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 overall pick in next Wednesday's draft, and 5 second-round draft picks. I mean, here's the thing. The other part of this is the Houston Rockets with guys like Amon Thompson and other players on that roster, incredibly young. So now you mentioned the experience that Kevin Durant has. You bring in a guy that is entering his 18th year, and maybe there's some leadership pieces that he can teach for, some of these younger guys. But you look at like Kevin Durant, and obviously the early parts of his career, I mean, there were, what was it here? Let me see. From every year from 2009 to 2019, so 10 years, he finished at least top 10 in MVP voting. And for 5 of those 10 years, he finished top 2. He won the MVP back in 2014 with Oklahoma City. He was an all-star every single one of those years. Well, we talked about the Achilles injury. He gets injured in 2020. That was his Achilles injury year. And since then, he is a 4-time all-star in the last 6 years, 4-time all-star. He has finished 9th and 10th in MVP voting, and he has not had a single NBA all-first team. So, like you can see that. Yeah, you said it. Father Time certainly is playing a factor, but at the end of the day, he's still looked at as a notable player that can bring in quite a few picks and then guys in return. His lowest points per game average since 2020 is still 26.9. So he averaged 26.9 this last season with Phoenix in 62 games.
And I think it works out good for Phoenix too. Like you said, they got some draft picks. They got a couple players out of it, because it sounded like when they interviewed Kevin Durant at the Fanatics, the sports convention that they were having this past weekend, and he's like, well, they didn't want me there. So I think the bridges had been kind of burnt there. So I think it was probably time for Kevin Durant to move on.
Yeah, Raff, he did mention that. He said, I want to be at a place where I'm wanted. And September 29th, Kevin Durant will be 37 years old. To your point, Father Time is definitely ticking on that career. And it's been, the reality is this has been a phenomenal career too. Like I said, a well-traveled, the Slim Reaper, as they call him. But I tell you what, Father Time is catching up. It's going to be an interesting draft for Phoenix as well, with all of those picks, what they got in exchange for Kevin Durant. So a lot's going to take place a week from Wednesday, the NBA draft. Folks, we'll be back. Man, there's something that happened in Connecticut yesterday, and it was not good if you were Fairway Jesus. We'll discuss when we come back. It's The Drive.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms, especially this afternoon. Otherwise, mainly cloudy and breezy with the high near 89. Tonight, showers and storms likely below near 69. And tomorrow, with a continued chance of showers and storms, an afternoon high near 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Bucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Noticing more dust at home? It may be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Breathe easy and healthy. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still though have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at coppellcars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G289358.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back for the 10:30 segment. There is someone that helps us do these segments. Raff, who is that?
Well, it is Doors Plus. We're proudly sponsored by Doors Plus. If your garage door needs maintenance or need an entirely new garage door, give Cameron Hall and his team a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus is locally owned and handles everything from residential or commercial garage doors, garage door openers, safety tune-ups, or custom design. Visit DoorsPlusLLC.com to learn more. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
I think, speaking of more, gentlemen, that I think not touchdown Jesus, same Jesus, but I think fairway Jesus, Tommy Fleetwood, which he had more holes to go with the match yesterday. He was leading all day yesterday for the most part. And Raff, and the thing about Fleetwood, man, Tommy Fleetwood ended up succumbing to it. He loses to Keegan Bradley, puts on basically wins on the 18th hole. Based on what he does. Raff, immediately, what was your reaction, just how Tommy Fleetwood lost to Travelers yesterday? Folks, in case you didn't follow, Fleetwood had the lead going into hole 18 for the most part, the final hole, and end up losing to Keegan Bradley that claimed the championship, that won the Travelers there in Connecticut. Initial thoughts, Raff?
My first thought, it was this, like, I think Jeff said it earlier in the show, like, umpires, they're human. Well, golfers, they're human. And I felt like Tommy Fleetwood felt a little bit of that pressure, and I think it got to him a little bit yesterday. I mean, it's just part of human nature. He wants to win so bad, and then you get down to those final holes, and he started to feel the pressure, and it looked like the putt he had, the first one, he rushed it, it felt like, and it just looked like he just got a little out of sync, and it cost him.
It definitely cost him, Raff. The thing that I was surprised to see about Fleetwood, because he's always pretty steady. And, like I said, he's always around that top 20, top 15, even at times top 10 or 5. But I had not seen him fall apart like that. I mean, I've seen myself do that every time I play. It don't have to be hole 18, be hole 1 or 2. But for Raff on 18, for him to come up so short from, I think, $132, $128 out, to have to give himself a putt that long. And then you think a nice lag putt was behind Keegan's even.
That's right.
And so it just blew me away. It shows you the Raff, and it shows you swim to where that golf club and that pressure, it gets really hard to breathe. A shot that he has hit so many. In fact, he hit that same shot numerous times throughout from Thursday. And to come up that short, to put himself in a position to have a lag putt that long, it shows you that I think a gorilla jumped on his back pressure-wise.
Yeah, I think you're right. Guys, you look at, now Tommy Fleetwood is 0 for 84 in his PGA Tour events. On the other side, though, for Keegan Bradley, the Ryder Cup is certainly a conversation here. And, him being able to come back and win yesterday, that puts him, I think he's now 9th in the FedEx Cup standings.
Yep.
And so you talk about now, if you're USA and you're the captain for that USA team, Keegan Bradley might fill out that spot. And where, otherwise, and he was asked about that. He's like, what do you have to say about the people that want you to play for Team USA? He said, all I have to say is go USA. And so, he knows what's at stake. And so the Ryder Cup is around the corner in a couple of, so it's going to be a fascinating thing to see of did that tour win for Keegan Bradley just now allow him to earn his spot on the Ryder Cup team for Team USA. For Tommy Fleetwood, on the other hand, you talk about it, right? 0 for 84. He's 34 years old. He's 0 for 84. He's played in a lot of tournaments, never been able to get that victory. And it was set up really, really well for him going into the last hole. And he just didn't do enough.
I'm going to tell you what I expected. Go ahead, Raff.
I was going to say a lot of the wheels turning yesterday with him going into that 9th slot, because there hasn't been a player captain in the Ryder Cup since 1963 that Arnold Palmer did that. So now there was a lot of murmur going around Twitter last night. It was like, could they call up Tiger Woods and, maybe step in while, Keegan's playing, and if he ends up having to play, and step in and maybe be like an assistant team captain or something like that. So be interesting to see how that all plays out.
You know what I respected in defeat about Fleetwood? He didn't flee the scene. You know what I'm saying, Raff? You know what I'm saying, Swim? After such you had a chance of your first one, and to have it happen the way that it did. And now this is not an excuse, but this is just reality. On his putt, Raff, after his approach shot, he lagged his putt. Okay, so he's behind. Obviously, he's behind Keegan. Is it just me? Because me and Nick were talking about it during the break. Didn't it look like his ball hit a ball marker or something like that, or like a smudge or something like that on the green, Raff? Did you see that?
Yeah, it hopped her. It took a different thing because they went through and they played the 2 putts together, and they both basically hit the same exact putt, but he got the unlucky bounce, I guess you'd say.
Unknown texter 8356. I want to get back to Fleetwood. He goes, I was watching Saturday and Scotty Scheffler had his own troubles. I think I heard it was his first triple and double in the same round. That is easy as I do that every round. Laugh aloud. Hey, unknown texter, I'm right with you on that. I mean, Scotty played like a human being for once. Normally he doesn't see some of the troubles that he saw this past weekend, but it shows you how the golf gods and golf can be very unfaithful if you're not dialed in. Even if you are dialed in, it's golf. It happens. But again, you guys, I want to go back again because Rory took some heat last weekend. He says, I earned the right not to be able to talk to the media. That's his prerogative. He can do that. But Nick and Raff, I want to get your input on this as well. I thought, and us being talking heads, I thought it showed a lot about Fleetwood's demeanor, his character, and it's not assassinating Rory's. But when someone still steps up to the mic and at their worst moment and says, you know what? I'm pissed at myself. I'm seeing the interview. He was very disappointed, but he still showed up.
I mean, you're absolutely right. That's where the narrative around Rory has somewhat shifted. It's been kind of a roller coaster of the last 5 years. And in this moment where we talk about, it's fascinating in the game of golf because we get to see these guys for 4 days in a row, and we get to watch them so intently for basically 5 hours on a day. You're talking about 20 hours of screen time essentially over the course of one weekend. And we're doing this consistently for, every single weekend essentially throughout the course of the spring and summer. And so we get to see these guys a lot and get to formulate a lot of outside opinions on these guys. And ultimately, when it's all said and done, this roller coaster of the last couple of years for Rory McIlroy, it's just been of like, do the fans like him now? Do the fans not like him now? Are we cheering for Rory to get his Grand Slam? Are we not cheering for Rory to win after he gets his Grand Slam? And so then you look at it as another golfer that's completely changed his identity to where what's wild is Bryson DeChambeau has completely shifted his identity, and it doesn't feel like that's ever changing either. And so, as we look ahead at some of the events that are coming up, whether it's the Rocket Classic this weekend in Detroit, the John Deere Classic in the first week of July, these are now major opportunities. If both tournaments have hold 500 FedEx points each, right? So you talk about FedEx standings and things like that. These are some big weeks coming up, even though they're not majors. There's some big weeks coming up for some big tour wins leading up to the Open across the pond.
I agree. Raff, I tell you what, man, it galvanized my respect. I've always liked Fleetwood, but it just, I looked at that. I'm like, you know what? And it's not like they're waiting, till today. He's had some time to process. He's still reeling from the shock that actually just went down. What does that do for you when it comes to Tommy Fleetwood? And old dad, Raff, I want you to answer this. Old dad, good morning to you, because I think it's a good question. Do you think that Rory is trying to play the victim for not talking to reporters, Raff?
I'm not sure. It's really weird. I was trying to think about Rory. You thought, after he won the Masters, he'd be which day was the Masters? Why am I?
Yeah, it was the Masters.
It's the Masters. Yeah. You think that he'd have that monkey off his back and, he'd be kind of a loose, more free going Rory, but he's almost kind of like he's going opposite. It's almost like he's kind of turning into like that Tiger Woods early 90s type, kind of, I'm all about golf, me and, everybody else, whatsoever. But it's really weird to see the turn that he's took. But then on a positive, it's really fun going into a Ryder Cup and having him taking that attitude, because the crowds in New York are going to be crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, guys, I was looking more a little closer at Keegan Bradley. Keegan Bradley has 8 PGA Tour wins since 2011. His career winnings, I do really love this PGA Tour website, because you can really you can find out a lot of information about some guys. Keegan Bradley is not necessarily viewed as one of the top golfers in the country. Like we don't talk about Keegan the same way we talk about Scotty. We don't talk about Keegan the same way we view Rory, and even not necessarily that this is the right thing, but maybe we don't give him the same amount of respect as we do some other guys, because he's just not super flashy and he doesn't make a lot of headlines. But he's got 8 wins in the PGA Tour. He has 44 top 5 finishes, 68 top 10 finishes, 12 runner-up. I mean, he's made his official PGA Tour money since 2011. He's made $55 million.
That's pretty good living.
Since 2011. and if you asked any of us right now, like, all right, what how much do you think Keegan Bradley's made since 2011? In 14 years, $55 million, not too shabby.
Yeah. Keegan's doing just fine.
Absolutely.
Folks, when we come back, we got the RGT and closing comments regarding today. Was a full day, a great morning, a lot of sports. Again, 2 champions crowned. In case you're just checking in, LSU claims their 8th national championship since 2023. Of course, OKC wins their first in OKC, second franchise-wise, the former Seattle Seahawks, Supersonics, as they move to OKC in 2008. Get it done last night against the Pacers, Seattle Supersonics, Seattle Supersonics, Seattle Mariners. Seattle. We'll be right back.
The Lincoln Light Guy salutes the men and women of our military and veterans for the sacrifices they've made. Keep them in your thoughts, prayers, and letters from home until these trying times are over. Our troops are fighting hard around the clock to defend our great country and keep freedom alive worldwide. For this, we salute them, and may God bless America. This from Lincoln Light Guy. Locally owned and operated, installing and servicing permanent, holiday, and special occasion lighting for your home or business.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers in this moment, especially this afternoon. Otherwise, mainly cloudy and breezy with the high near 89. Tonight, showers and storms likely, low near 69. And tomorrow, with a continued chance of showers and storms, the afternoon high near 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hunter for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes a ticket to USC plus Akron or Houston Christian and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Noticing more dust at home? It may be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Breathe easy and healthy. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back for the last segment on this magnificent Monday. The weather down here at 1040 O Street. Come down to the mill, of course. Let one of the baristas pick you either a cold drink or a hot drink. Come down, read, work, or just chill. It's changed down here, Nick, weather-wise.
I highly recommend the cold drink today.
What'd you get today, man?
I got a sugar-free caramel latte, iced latte, extra shot of espresso in there as well.
There you go.
It's always a game changer.
I got to try one of their cold drinks. I'm just not a cold drink person in the morning besides the water. I got to try one of those, though, maybe post-show.
There you go.
And see what those are like. Their green tea is off the chains down here,
Green
too,
tea's
man.
delicious. In the winter, they're just hot tea is incredible. So
They have one that's it's like a mint eucalyptus thing. It's very, very good, and it soothes the sore throats if you ever experience some cold like symptoms in the winter. So it's a game changer down here at the mill.
I'm sure with you when you're done, obviously with particular basketball championships.
That's my go-to.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Rafferty, what you got for the RGT, my brother?
All right, everybody. Today's Raff's Good Take goes out to Michael Reinmiller. He is one of the co-founders of the Little Free Pantries here in Lincoln. It's pretty cool what they do. They have like the little, I've seen, the books where the little book libraries where people put books in and you can go and grab a book out and that. But they have the Little Free Pantries, and what it's got is food and essential items that anyone might need if they're in need of that. So I just wanted to give Raff's Good Take out to the Little Free Pantries and Michael Reinmiller for doing such a cool thing for the city of Lincoln. It's awesome. So you guys are Raff's Good Take.
Big shout out to Mike. In fact, I was watching the news last night, and I'm pretty sure it was him that was talking about the supplies they could use more because of the heat. Obviously, kids not being in school, and a lot of those kids depend on those lunches and those consistent meals being there. So big shout out to Mike and all the folks that contribute to that. If you look that up, the pantry there in Lincoln, Nebraska, you can find different locations and drop points where you can do that. Pete Ferguson, good morning, bro. I want to make sure I read this because Pete had a great point earlier on the text line talking about some of the calf injuries. He goes, knowing the history of calf injuries turning to Achilles, A.G. Durant, Thompson, would you have protected Halliburton from himself and not played him? And hindsight is always 20/20, but there is a history with calf strain leading to this outcome. And Pete, you're spot on with that, man. And I think with being a Game 7, I think you would have probably had to nail him to the seat in order not to play him in that game. But I totally see what you're saying. Sometimes you have to protect players from themselves. And especially with the history, when you have a calf strain, you overcompensate a little bit and you try to push off, and there's trouble there.
Yeah. Did you know it was supposed to rain?
I did not know it was supposed to rain.
It just started pouring. I'm looking out here. There's blue skies over the building across the parking garage. But here it's pouring rain down here.
Yes,
I was caught off guard. But yes, no, you're absolutely right. I like it reminds me of the game in the what was it been, the World Series between the Mets and the Royals, when Terry Collins, who was the manager of the New York Mets, went out, wanted to take Matt Harvey out of the game, and Matt Harvey was like, no, I'm not coming out. And now, granted, Matt Harvey wasn't injured at the time, but he goes, I'm not coming out. You're not taking me out of this game.
Right.
And the Royals ended up coming back and getting a couple of hits off of Matt Harvey, and they ended up winning that game and went on to win the series. And so we look back at that and go, okay, what would have happened if they would have taken Matt Harvey out of the game? I think you have to ask yourself, maybe as an organization, does an injured Tyrese Halliburton give you the best chance to win a game?
Absolutely.
And does that give you a better chance to win the game than keeping him on the sidelines? And they must have felt like he was in a spot that it was okay to go in.
Pete, that was great insight and great history. Appreciate you sending that in, brother. Appreciate that. Folks, my AD attitude adjustment, very quick for today. It's a quote that I read, and I think I've said it before, but it just resonated even more. I got a good friend of mine that is going to be laying his grandfather to rest. 92 amazing years of life, though. They'll be laying him to rest. But I think about this quote. It goes off on my clock in the morning. With every day that you wake up, there's a day closer to death. So what are you going to do with the time you have left? Every day you wake up is another day closer to death. So what are you going to do today with the time that you have left? Raffy, take us home, my man.
All right, everyone. Have a great Monday. Remember, be nice to each other, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic relations cases.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
We recognize that our clients are going through perhaps the toughest time they will ever go through. We understand that everything that's important to them is on the table. Their assets, the role in their children's lives. That's an immense responsibility that our clients entrust us with, and we take that very seriously. We've been trained to do that. We've helped thousands of clients before, and it's our hope that you'll choose to entrust us with what's most important to you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on